Let's say you wanted to use a print that had more specific things going on. This one was just randomly cut, and it's okay, but it's got like half a word here, half a word here. I'm a big fan of fussy cutting and really controlling what is in different things for certain projects. So I wanted to make sure this part, this go jump in the lake and this whole fish and everything was on the front of my sleep mask. So I want to show you how I did that. First, I made a template out of paper. So we're going to jump over to Design Space. I have the project open where we cut the mask. I'm going to go to Upload, and I've already uploaded the template shape, and this does come in my sleep mask pattern for Cricut that I sell on Etsy, or it is free to any of my members of the Sew with Tara Reid membership. And I'm going to put that right up in the corner. Then I'm going to move that below the other one. I'm going to change the color of the actual mask so that you can see it. And I'm going to make sure I put that right in the middle. Then I'm going to hide it, because what we want to cut is a template like this. So there's plenty of room around the sleep mask, about 1 inch all the way around. And then we're going to use this to choose our fabric. So next, I'm going to just take a piece of paper, and we're going to use a standard grip mat now. You don't need the fabric grip to cut your paper. And I usually just use a color that I don't use often that may have come in a pack or something. So I'm just put that on the mat. Go back to Design Space. I'm going to click Make. And when that button turns blue, we know that the Wi-Fi is connected. And then I'm going to choose medium cardstock. I have my fine point blade in clamp B, so I'm going to load my paper. So what I did when I created this template was it not only cuts the mask shape out, but it also cuts this rectangle, which is 11 inches by 6 inches. And this is how we're going to know how to cut our fabric. Because we set this up in Design Space, where the shape, this gray, is exactly inside this template, what we're going to do is we're just going to hide the template now, have that show, and then once we cut our fabric using this template, we can cut the fabric into the shape with our Cricut. So let's get this done. I have ironed and starched this. I always feel like adding starch before cutting decreases the amount of fraying that you get when you cut with your Cricut. So I would definitely get in the habit of doing that. And this one, I'm going to highlight this saying, the best days include sunshine and lake water. So you can just move this around and decide what you want. And also remember that when you sew it, it's going to come in 1/4 inch inside this. So you don't want to put letters right up there because they will get lost in your seam allowance. So just be thinking about that as you are placing this. I'm going to leave this in place. I'm just going to put my acrylic ruler down next to it, and I'm going to cut the fabric to the exact size of the outside of this template. And if it moves, you just need to put it back. This might be a good time to use a rotary mat, but I did not do that right now, and not everyone has it. So I'm just going to show you how I do it this way. Actually, I'm going to cut this side off first so that I'll have a scrap that I can use for a different project. And you don't even have to put that for the last cut because it is 6 inches. So I can just use my rotary mat and cut that 6 inches. So now you can decide if you want to cut it just as fabric with the rotary blade, or if you don't have the rotary blade, you can put a very light interfacing on the back and cut it with the fine point blade. You really need to make sure it is adhered really, really well, or else it will separate as it tries to cut and it'll be a disaster and you'll be starting over.